Good day, fellow observers. Today we're starting our Manhattan edition testing for version 13.2.8. We are heading to Madison Square Garden, the home of New York Knicks. It is an hour and 8-minute drive, 29 miles. Let me activate FSD. Okay, so I need to see the wheel here. Okay, so the wheel is on, the icon, so that means I could activate FSD. So that is what I learned, I think 2 weeks ago. So just want to put it out there in case you guys are wondering why is it always the second attempt that it functions. But turns out on the first try, I always do it. I try to activate FSD when this icon is not visible. So that's why that first attempt always fails. So as you can see here, FSD is thinking of when to go, but it says object in path detected, take over to proceed. So let me just try and press the accelerator here. So FSD is now advancing, and that notice here disappeared. So now we are turning right, and also you might be hearing my AC, which is a bit on the loud side because it's cooling down. Now, this is a good observation here. There are cones. I'm not sure if it's thinking of passing it. Let's see if it can pass it. Okay, good. Very nice. Very nice. Avoiding this car here on the left side. Okay, I thought it was going to make a left turn over there, but turns out no. I think it took some time to think. And now we head over to this left turn.
Feet, turn left onto Flamingo Rd. Now turn left onto Flamingo Rd.
So now we make a left here. The very first time we went to this road is that I disengaged because as it crept or creeped, whatever the word is, I was not confident with FSD to make it correctly. So on the safe side, I disengaged. So now we are headed here. So we didn't encounter that traffic usually that is oncoming because it has a red light on this light that we just passed. So now we continue ahead, and we are making a left soon. So I don't think FSD was bothered by that cone that we just passed. Just want to point that out.
In 500 feet, turn left onto Steward Avenue. Now turn left onto Steward Avenue.
Okay, we have a green light here.
In 500 feet, turn right onto Carman Avenue.
Okay, have to be careful there because there was an SUV that appeared on the right side, and I was very ready to disengage just in case. Although I'd have to point out FSD can respond to it, but you need to always be ahead of FSD just so you can foresee where it's going and what it's going to do. So now we're turning right here.
In 500 feet, bear right to stay on Carman Avenue. Now bear right to stay on Carman Avenue. 500 feet, bear left to stay on Carman Avenue, then turn right onto Old Country Road. Now bear left to stay on Carman Avenue.
Okay, good slowdown here. Now it should be a right of way, so I'm going to press the accelerator.
Now turn right onto Old Country Road.
Okay, now we are turning right. Okay, good. So I'm surprised.
Now take the Wantagh Pkwy North ramp on the right.
Well, not really surprised. I should take that back. Like the car, I thought I'm gonna get honked at from the rear, but it turns out no. So just want to point that out as well. Because we are on New York traffic. Sometimes there are people who would prefer to be on the faster side on that stop. So yeah. Now we are merging here to Wantagh, so that was straightforward. There was a window, so FSD was able to execute pretty quickly.
In 1 mile, take the Northern State Parkway West exit on the left toward New York.
So we just moved to the passing lane. I do think because we are on a hurry mode, then it will stay here for the majority of the trip.
Now take the Northern State Parkway West exit on the left.
Now we're moving to the next left lane. Okay, good. Lane here.
In 1 mile, keep left to stay on Northern State Parkway West toward New York. Now keep left to stay on Northern State Parkway West. In 1 mile, take exit 29A on the right onto Interstate 495 west toward New York.
Okay, so we are moving to the next right lane, and we will have to make another lane change here because we're heading to Long Island Expressway, because we're heading to the on-ramp towards that. I mean exit ramp. steadying the speed for this merging SUV. Okay, I think we could speed up after this.
Now
Okay,
take exit 29A on the right.
Okay, so there is a lot of cars here. Okay, so this road now is starting to narrow, and we would have to make some adjustments here. So let's see how FSD will adapt, because this one will be a one-laner. Okay, FSD is giving way for this SUV in front on the right side. So now we are in, and we will have to merge somehow here. And you might have noticed some cars made early merges, and I think sometimes FSD follows suit, but this time it didn't really do what they did. So I think FSD is doing by the book right now, and we do have a window here. Okay, good. Okay, now we're moving to the next left lane. Nice. As well. Okay, good. And good slowdown here right after making the lane change for the merging car. Okay, good adjustment here for this SUV that was about to merge but postponed it. And now we continue advancing. Okay, as you can see here, the HOV lane is ending because we are now on the Queens New York territory. So we just passed the boundary, and so the lane on the left now is the new passing lane. So let's see when FSD will move to this passing lane, because we are on hurry mode, and from my observations FSD will always go to the to the passing lane, because it's always theoretically the faster lane, but here and there it uses the next right lane to pass by cars that are on the passing lane but are on the slower side. So just want to put it out there, and we are heading to Manhattan, and we have 11 miles left before we get our new set of directions. Slowdown here, and because of the traffic ahead, I think we will have those looks for FSD where it will accelerate and decelerate shortly after because of the traffic flow. Slowdown, and then FSD is planning. So I have to disengage there because there is a car that is fast on its approach, and it seems like that SUV was not giving way. So FSD was still confident on making that lane change, but I was not. So here again, I have to point out that it would depend now on your discretion on when you would disengage, but you'd really have to always supervise FSD, because in those cases, you know, it is a collision if both cars would be assertive in whatever they're doing. So I think even in driving, even if you're confident with FSD, you still need to really do your own diligence. So that's a good, interesting case there, because I think it's in these cases that you see how FSD makes lane changes on a highway on a difficult level. But I have to say though, for the most part, on the cases of lane changes for 13.2.8, it's, compared to other versions, previous versions, it is actually better. So now here again, we're adjusting to this SUV. Okay, good. FSD is adjusting here to the lines being redrawn because of construction, and I think FSD always do well for updated traffic patterns when there's a construction zone. So I just want to put it out there. And we are 7.4 miles before we get the next instructions. Slow down here. We kind of sped up but immediately slowed down, so FSD is good in that. good adjustment here. Adjustment is FSD didn't really accelerate, so it waited. So that's good. FSD was moving to the left. Okay, so that was good. That is an example of 13.2.8 motorcycle adjustment. So it was able to see that the motorcycle was going in between lanes, and at first I was like wondering why, but then shortly after I heard the motorcycle engine, so I think that's good. This is what do you call this? A big improvement, because on version 12, if that exact case happened, it would abruptly stop and it will make you confused like as to why it was stopping. So I think here now it's just veering to the left and then goes back after the motorcycle passes. So that's good.
In 1 mile, keep left to take Interstate 495 west toward Manhattan. Now keep left to take Interstate 495 west.
So I can see the skyline here. I'm not sure if the camera is able to capture that, but we are close. We are 5.2 miles away, 20 minutes. Okay, so we are going through Queens Midtown Tunnel, and this will be the first time that I'll be testing how FSD would behave going through a tunnel, and let's see what happens. So you can see skyline here. Slowdown. Now, from my experience though, when we get out of this tunnel, it could be very confusing, especially if you're driving and if you're not familiar with the streets. So my goal also is to find out if FSD would get lost. And yeah, so now we're here in the tunnel. I think it's able to recognize it, but we might have a GPS issue here because we're underground, and also we'll be under the river. And will that lead FSD to get lost? So that's what I'm trying to see as well. Okay, steady speeds here.
In
So
1 mile, keep straight toward 37th Street.
So this is reasonable, and our next instruction is to keep straight, so maybe FSD will not get lost. Okay, so now we have a poor GPS here. And good slowdown. Okay, so I think so far FSD is doing well here, tracing the lanes. Even with GPS issue, I think FSD could still manage and able to maintain boundaries. So we are close to our exit here. Okay, I do think this is an auto.
Now keep straight toward 37th Street.
Okay, towards 37th Street, so it's not making a straight, so it's making a left here. So this is an interesting development. Now we're making a right here.
Now turn right onto East 35th Street.
So we are 10 minutes away, 0.9 miles. Okay, we are turning right. Okay, good. Okay, good. FSD is using this middle lane instead of this one on the left because we are heading straight. Now we have a green light here. Okay, good adjustment here for this merging SUV. And we continue straight. Okay, good. Okay, there are pedestrians here, so have to be very careful. And usually FSD would be generous for crossing humans. And also that's something that you'd have to keep in mind, because even on a non-crosswalk area, a human can be crossing and FSD would try to give way, but FSD is on a green, and so you'd have to think about the cars behind you and the risk for potential rear end collision. So just want to put it out there. I've been saying that again and again, and yeah, I think it bears, it warrants repetition. So now we're crossing here. We're crossing Park Avenue. And we have a green light. have a green here. Good adjustment here because this SUV is parking, and now we are continuing straight. Okay. So we are continuing our advance here. So I think FSD crossed on a yellow, and good thing that it still was able to advance, and I was torn between disengaging there or not, and I was hoping FSD would be on the faster side with the acceleration, but turns out no, but it was able to pull through. So just want to put it out there. Okay, we have a green light here, and good, FSD didn't move right away because of that bicycle. Okay, good speeds here as well.
In 500 feet, turn left onto 7th Avenue.
Now we are making a left here. Okay, good stop here.
Now turn left onto 7th Avenue.
Not a stop, but more of a pause, and then continues advancing. Now we have a red light. So we are making a left here, and there are crossing humans. Let's see how FSD will do this. There might be a window though. Okay, good. Okay, so where is that MSG? Okay, good lane change here. It's on the right.
In 500 feet, your destination will be on the right.
Okay, we're crossing a green here. And yeah, I see the Madison Square Garden entrance here. So I'm just waiting for where it will stop. So there is a taxi lane here, but we shouldn't be stopping there. I just want to see how it will handle this scenario. Okay, it can't make a lane
Now
change.
your destination is on the right.
Okay, so I think this is a good time. So as you can see to the right, this is where the Madison Square Garden is, the home of New York Knicks. And now I disengaged, and let me just give my takeaways. So we started off from Long Island, and FSD was able to make well, actually it didn't move right away because there was an obstacle, so I had to press the accelerator and it worked. and FSD was able to continue advancing, make a right, and then there was a cone there and it paused for a little bit. I thought it's gonna make a left turn, but it went straight and avoided the cone, which was good, and made a left on stop, and then crossed the green, and then made a left to Steward, and then made a right to Carman Avenue, and then made a U-turn towards made a right, and then made a right to Old Country Road, and then went for Wantagh Parkway. And then it was a highway drive until then, Wantagh Parkway towards Northern State Parkway, and FSD was able to handle the speed up, slow down scenarios, and FSD went to I-495. FSD was able to handle lane changes, merging, but there was that one lane change where FSD kind of did a lane change as in adjusting to the traffic, but there was this moment where I didn't feel confident because I saw that the car on the left side, where FSD wants to go, the car was accelerating at a faster pace, so I was very cautious because that's a risk for potential collision. So I disengaged there, and then I reactivated FSD after. So it's something that you really have to make a decision on your own, weigh the pros and cons, and also make sure that it's clear when FSD does those things. Because sometimes when it's on heavy traffic on highway, cars could speed up and slow down at a snap of a finger, so you'd have to be very careful. Then went to I-495, and then went through Queens Midtown Tunnel, which was good. FSD was able to handle it. We did have the expected GPS issue. I'm not sure though if it got lost. It didn't follow the GPS, but I think it made the trip faster. So I'm not sure, maybe FSD kind of thought of something different than what the nav says, because I've seen that several times and until now I still don't know the answer. So if you know if it really got lost or it just found a faster way, please comment down below. And then FSD made some crossings on the lights here in the city in Manhattan, and FSD was able to adjust, and it was able though to handle the pedestrian, but it did actually crossed on a yellow, which kind of was a bit tricky earlier, because if there were a lot of people and they start crossing, then you'd get stuck there. So it's something that you'd have to know ahead if you are driving here in Manhattan, and something that if FSD is crossing, you need to make sure that it's doing it at the right time as well. So overall, I think the drive was reasonable. Heavy traffic, great difficulty for lane changing. FSD kind of did well. I think it did well, but I had to disengage and also did a pedal press. Now, those are all my takeaways for this test, and if you find this video helpful or of value, please like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Bye!